Hey all, I'm back with another Cephalid Breakfast video. And in this video, I'm going to be piloting this list. It's the Steel City Spectacular 2K winning list by Andrew Wathen. I hope I'm saying your name right. And this deck is very similar to what I've been playing recently. It has the 4 Tameo. And card per card, this is the exact main deck that I have been enjoying running. And there's just a couple of sideboard differences that are noteworthy and that we'll bring up. So looking at the deck on Magic Online here, there are a few differences. So I have been off to Fairy. I've just really been struggling with that card as far as making sure I have the mana to cast it and then protect it. I don't know. I never get the mileage out of Teferi that I'd like to and feel like I can bring it in enough matchups. Additionally, there's Serenity. I think there's actually 2 copies of Serenity, so I need to fix that in the deck right now and double check what the cut is. So 2 Serenities in the sideboard, and then let me double check with this list. So here it is. 2 Serenities and a Teferi. Right now, I've been running 1 Consign and a 2nd Ghost Vacuum and a 3rd Fairy Macabre. So the graveyard hate is going away, and artifact hate is going to be more present, or enchantment hate for that matter, and some extra protection for the breakfast combo. So I'm going to see how this goes. Obviously, congrats to Andrew on a great finish, and let's see how the league goes. I'm on the play in the first round, and this ends okay. I would probably lead on the Trop to hold up Days and possibly Brainstorm. Obviously, Dread Return, Memory's Journey, not what I want to see in hand, but Brainstorm can put those back. So I'm going to keep, and let's see how this goes. My opponent's also on 7 cards. Hopefully I don't get wastelanded. But asked a question recently on Breakfast Discord about starting with Urza Saga, and maybe this is a good example where I could. If you're watching and you would start with Urza Saga here, you should put that in the comments and say why. Because I think there's an argument to going Urza Saga turn 1, turn 2, play Trop and either Illusionist or Brainstorm. Okay, this looks like Chalice on 1. Played off the City of Traders. I'll start with a Brainstorm. Okay. I am going to have to try to daze this. I'll put back Dread Return. I'll put back Memory's Journey. If this resolves, I'm in trouble. If they have a Simian Spirit Guide or something like that to pay for it. If it doesn't resolve, I'm going to feel good. Great. Okay, so Ponder next turn, most likely. And I'm going to have to shuffle away Dread Return. Otherwise, it would be nice to play that Saga. But unless I have really home run cards here, this will be fine. So I'll put Dread Return on bottom and just put it like that. In case this is Eldrazi and they play like Thought-Knot Seer or something like that, having the land instead of Brainstorm is good. I'm sure this is mono red though. That first turn of a city, I don't know if Eldrazi really plays City of Traders. As long as I don't get Blood Moon right now, I'm going to feel okay. Okay, so this is going to be an initiative deck, and that Chalice is pretty good. So I still have to shuffle my library because I can draw this Brainstorm, but if I draw the next card, it's going to be Dread Return. So I'm going to just play out the Illusionist, and I'll get a Tundra. This means if they have something like Chalice on 2, I don't have to worry about it. But anytime a Chalice resolves, I feel pretty unfavored from that position. At least I don't have to play around Swords to Plowshares, but Solitude is a likely card. And a reason to play out Illusionist here is if they do have an initiative creature, unless they get a 2nd creature on board, I can take the initiative with Illusionist. So my opponent is sacking the city for a plateau. And Fable. Fable is fine. Obviously, that is good for them. I would prefer that they didn't have that. But really, anything that removes Illusionist or locks me out of the game farther. Okay, that was amazing. That was a heck of a top deck. So, I had Memories Journey up as well. And I should... Oh. So dumb. So dumb. I saw it and just licked my lips. And, was ready for the kill. But, the Chalice... Well, thankfully that really won't cost me in any way, except for my dignity. But I can't put it back with Brainstorm. Oof, they didn't. They didn't. Caves of Chaos Adventure, that's fine. They didn't use the second chapter of Fable, which is scary, because I think they have to dig for an answer to my combo. Unless they have it already. And next turn could be like a hard cast Solitude. No attacks, interesting. I guess they really want to make sure I don't get the initiative. Maybe they have a Blood Moon or something like that. Okay, now that was an actual good top deck. So that's something to be thankful for. Yeah, I've been complaining recently about being in a bit of a slump. And, you know, terrible plays like playing your 1-drop into a Chalice is I think, a part of that. I had a lot going on with work. And I feel like I haven't had the same mental energy for Magic as I have. And I think that is really important. You know, if you're going to play Magic, it takes a lot of brain power. Archon. Archon's fine. I only need, well, that means if next turn they have a Solitude, then they get it. But nevertheless, I think that's okay. Because I still wouldn't die. I could get Narcomoebas into block. And then just win the next turn. And I think I just have to hold the force for an actual removal spell. So I'm going to let them have their Archon. Obviously, next turn, if they get a next turn, this Reflection can copy Caves of Chaos Adventure, which will be really crazy. Whatever they get off this, though, they can't cast. So I don't know if they would have been able to cast the Caves of Chaos Adventure, but they probably should have played Archon post-combat. Now, my life total is really low here, so I think I just have to hope that they don't have anything to remove Cephalid. So that plains I knew about already because of Caves of Chaos, so I don't know the remaining 2 cards in their hand. I'll make a construct, and I'll probably make another construct at the beginning of my next turn. Another Cephalid. That's good. I mean, it's okay. Play Shuko. Start doing this. Now, if they have Solitude, I think they should have done it right then, in time with the first equip. Because letting me continue means I get Narcomoebas. And we'll just have an easier time winning from here. Alright. My deck is empty. I will cast Dread Return, targeting Thassa's Oracle. The only creature that I think really has to go is the Illusionist. I guess I'll just keep the Narcomoebas around. I mean, it really just has to resolve here, right? Or I'm going to die. Yeah, there we go. We got game 1. Well, Red-White Initiative is a weird one. Definitely not one that you see too much, but I like having a lot of answers to Chalice and Blood Moon and Fable, so I think Serenity is pretty good. It can clean up those Chrome Moxes too. Teferi is a maybe. I mostly like Teferi as something that could bounce a Chalice or Moon or something like that. Force of Negation is a maybe. Cavern of Souls is good because Cavern can name Nomads in case there is a Chalice. And Swords, despite playing into Chalice, I think is still good. So that's 10 possible cards. I definitely think Teferi doesn't make the cut there. I don't like Tamiyo. Tamiyo is probably too slow and does 0 damage. so it can't take the initiative. I'll also cut Ponders. Against Chalice decks, I like to cut Ponders. And at 61, I think I will just trade out an Urza Saga for a Cavern. I like to cut at least one Saga against Blood Moon decks, and Blood Moon decks are often Chalice decks or something like Painter, which would have lots of red blasts. And so I think Cavern is a very strong upgrade over an Urza Saga, and I don't really want to go up on lands. I don't want to flood out, so let's see how this goes. I don't love Daze, but I think against matches where there's some really strong hate piece like Chalice, Blood Moon, you have to just have a density of cards that can stop that. So let's see if that ends up coming up. All right, this hand is pretty good. Shuko and Serenity is awkward. It means if they have a Chalice, I can Serenity it, but I can't just play out the Shuko. So Serenity as a turn 2 play is pretty much a lock. It means Brainstorm will be slow, but whatever I can do to slow them down is going to be good. They're on 7. Maybe they have a Leyline. No Leyline. All right. Chalice it is. So I'll play Misty so I can hold up Daze next turn. And hopefully Serenity will get the job done. Probably fetch a Meticulous Archive at the end of this turn, unless I Daze. If I Daze, I'm going to go Tundra. Disruptor Flip. Don't think I need to say anything about that. But I can't let them do Misty Rainforce. Surveil. Nomads. Nomads is good. I'll keep it. They're likely to name Nomads. My next turn is almost certainly going to be Serenity. They don't have a land here. That's going to be pretty good, right? They named Shuko, but I can't even... Well, I guess Urza Saga can play around this. That's how I won last game. It's sad I have to play this out now. Without knowing what their follow-up is. They could have another Chalice, and then I can't play Nomads or Shuko. Looks like I'll be able to Daze, though, nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and name Wizard as opposed to Core. And I'll drop this bomb, Serenity. I love how Serenity came up in the very first match. Petal. Well, they must be spending that on something here. I'll feel good about anything that they play other than maybe Magus of the Moon. But I do have Daze. Archon. Archon is worth dazing. Alright, they couldn't pay for it. And now they're... Oh, and they just concede to that. Amazing. Wow. Well, I love when Serenity just ends the game on the spot. I do like my position from here, obviously. And drawing another land was really good because here, that would allow me to get Nadu. Yeah, looks good. Next turn, I probably would have gone Nomads and Shuko together and set up for a turn 3 with either one of these things. So, GG's. On the draw, match 2. This hand is fine. Pretty sure this player plays like Izzet, possibly with Stifle. So I don't love 2 dual lands, but Sword's good, Tamiyo good, third land good. If I draw it, Dread Return terrible, but here we are. I'll keep. First land drop will definitely be Trop. Ponder, okay. Yeah, Trop Tamiyo seems really good. I would hate for that to get dazed, but if that means Nadu doesn't get dazed, then that's awesome. I would love to draw a fetch land. Okay, another Tamiyo is good. Hopefully I don't get wastelanded out of the ability to crack clues, but hopefully I'll draw another land if that happens. Reason to lead on Trop is I don't want Tundra to get wastelanded. It's definitely the more valuable one. Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler. I bet they bolt here. Yep. Not going to fight over that. And they kept the card on top. Alright, Ponder. So, I think now that I have Ponder, it's pretty clear what to do. Tundra, Swords, then Ponder. If they daze the Ponder, that stinks. But I was debating in my mind whether it was more important to get Tamiyo played around days or Swords. And I was leaning towards Swords. I always like just getting rid of their creatures. So Tundra, Swords. And they're too far away from Murktide. My biggest fear would be that they go Cutter twice days next turn. But I still want to Ponder, find lands. Okay, that's good. I'll put the Illusionist on bottom. And then next turn, like if I get Wastelanded, I can get rid of the Cephalid and clear the top of my deck. If I don't get Wastelanded, I could maybe drop the basic, or maybe I'll still want to clear the top of my deck. Cephalid, not great. Well, here's the Cutter I just talked about. I think I'd rather have Force to back up my Nadu, because Nadu will be a really nice wall. So I'll let them have this. Okay, they don't even have the second spell. I think this turn I'd rather get Tamiyo online, because I don't want to Nadu into a daze. The fact that they didn't have a Bobble there definitely increases the chances of a daze. That allows me to get the Hedge Maze down. I really don't want Cephalid. I think I'll start with that and then play out Tamiyo. The only argument to keeping Cephalid is as a blue card for Force of Will, but I think we're about to get into a race here, and I don't know. I guess I could see an argument either way. Now, if they tap out, I can block their Monk. If they don't tap out, I can't block. They bottomed both cards from that. Surely they can make a Monk here, though. Bolting Tamiyo. Yeah, that's good. I will not force pitch Nadu on that, but I will look to have a blue card. I will regret binning the Illusionist if I don't have a blue card here. Okay, another Nadu. Well, here's one Nadu. Tapped wrong. Here's Nadu. I probably won't fight over it. If they force, that's fine. I have another Nadu. That's fine. Pitching Brazen Borrower. And getting their hand a little emptier. Dragon's Rage, pretty good. You have another spell. Oof. That's... Nadu's gonna stop this whole party, though. Just being a 3-4. If I can back up Nadu with Force of Will, that would be amazing. We've already been through 2 bolts this game, right? I don't know if they play Unholy Heat, but... Okay, pushing damage. Well, this is turn to push the damage. I do wonder if it's more correct, though, to try to hold 2 spells in hand for next turn, rather than doing 2 more damage this turn. Because this would do the same number of damage next turn, plus increase the chance of making a mutt. Seems like they're kind of desperate. They will have 2 fresh cards in their hand, or 2 more cards. It's whatever they put back off the brainstorm. So they're trying to get me dead here. They might realize that maybe the top card of my deck is really good. They looked at it, right? Cephalid. Here's Nadu. So my life total's not great, but having the biggest creature on board is important here. Getting a free kill on Dragon's Rage Channeler is nice. Just have to make sure I don't die to the other cards. For what it's worth, if I had forced the Cutter, I think this would be the same situation, because they had a force, and they spent their force on my spell, which meant that it didn't push damage. So I think they're favored here. It really depends on what I draw next, because they're just going to get to do quite a lot of damage this turn. Probably not kill me, but if they find a Wasteland for the Tundra, that's really good. If I block Dragon's Rage Channeler, I'm dead to a spell. If I block a Monk, Nadu is dead to a spell. But I don't think I can win the game without Nadu in play. I'll just block. I'll take the safe block. I really need Nadu to live. Okay, they got me. I will only feel bad if Brainstorm is the top card in my library, bolting my face. And that just doesn't even matter, right? Because now, yeah, they just have lethal. Yeah, they got me. I'll scoop. Land on top, so just didn't ever draw the other part of my combo. Alright, well, a deck like this, I like having removal, Cavern, Luster. Not going to worry about their graveyard at all. Teferi, maybe. I do like having at least one force. Maybe Teferi's good on the play. I'll try Teferi and get rid of one Ponder, and then probably put the Ponder in for the Teferi. But force is nice in this because really a lot of this does come down to Corey Steelcutter erasing that card, possibly even forcing that card. Alright, on the play game too. Yeah, that sounds fine. I'll keep. I'm going to start off with the Shuko. There's nothing I'm going to want to Ponder to find in advance of their turn 1. So delaying the Ponder means I have more information about what I'm looking for. They're thinking of forcing this. Wow. I mean, that's not bad. But pretty risky into a daze. Maybe they just assume I'm off days. Bobbling themselves, so they have at least 2 lands in their hand, I'm guessing. Didn't link card. And now passing. Ponder. Like that. Draw the Tundra. Play the Tundra. I'll play Nomads. If they bolt it, it's a bolt that doesn't create a monk. They didn't bolt it. Hers is Bobble. I'll probably see Nadu. Bolt. You got it. And yes, they have seen Nadu. He is coming. I will still play my land, start with Tamiyo. And I'll just try to use this Tamiyo for a little while. Brainstorm. I think they should not have made that land drop before casting Brainstorm, especially because they already had a fetch, but it's fine. A Murktide would be really good for them. And I'll fetch now. I'll surveil. Maybe they'll stifle. No stifle. I'll get a Hedge Maze, just get my colors. Savannah would have been better, though, to play around a future Wasteland. Brainstorm's amazing. Fetching now, probably killing this. It's fine. Trade card for card. Now, do I Nadu or do I Brainstorm? It feels foolish to just Nadu into a daze. So I'll Brainstorm. Maybe I get rid of the Narcomoeba along the way. That's good. I'm still going to play around days next turn if I can. Ponder, sure. Shuffle. Channeler. Delirious Channeler. I will go ahead and fetch a Surveil land. I'd better just get Savannah. Surveil would be nice, but I can't with a triple Nadu hand. I cannot afford to get Wastelanded off of green. Ponder. How about I tap like Pyroblast, probably. Brainstorm. Okay. Not mad at that. If they force, that's fine. If they surgical, that's devastating. Like if they force Nadu and then surgical it on my draw step or something like that. Now they did keep a card here on top, so force looks likely. Okay, but it's stuck. You know what? I'm gonna ponder now. And the reason I'll ponder is that next turn I might need to Nadu again plus a spell. Or maybe just Nadu again, but play that around days. I'm not too concerned if this gets dazed. And those are great cards. I'll try to stick to Fairy next turn. So Ponder, or Prismatic Ending on bottom, and then Drew the Force, obviously, to protect my Nadu through this turn. That's even correct. Cutter. Probably going to force this, pitching a Nadu. Force, pitch Nadu. Hopefully I don't have days. Okay. And I will block. If they want to do a damage to my Nadu, I just have another one. The fairy is great. And now these will just trade. So I'm up on cards. I'm just going to Teferi. Oh no! Oh, that was the nightmare, wasn't it? But that's fine. At least I pitched a Nadu, so we're down to just one Nadu in hand. But they got me. So I feel good here. I feel ahead. But I will probably draw a card right away off Teferi rather than play around like a Bolt. This would also be bad against like a Murktide, but I want cards. Swords, well, there's my Murktide answer. So this feels like a good situation. Let's just see how the game plays out from here. True Ugh. Worst case scenario. If I lose to True so be it. Saga. Cool. Well, I can race the True with an Urza Saga. Sadly, they can kill my Teferi. Guess they have a Surveil here at the end of turn. Yep. One card in hand. Combat first, kill Teferi. Whatever they have in hand. Obviously, they can't like back it up with an instant, as they have only one card in hand. Wasteland. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Well, gonna have to figure something out here. That's part of it. I'll leave it in hand. I'll play it out. Removal's gonna get me either way, so I'll just be more mana efficient. Sadly, I just can't block this thing, because Illusionist would be really good if I could. Using its activated ability. Don't know what card they drew. Shuko, okay. Hopefully I hit Memory's Journey before I hit Thassa's Oracle, because that's, with Shuko going sorcery speed, that's sort of the one concern. So if they do have the Surgical, okay, there's Memory's Journey, so got some good luck there. So can't really lose to a Surgical. Could lose to a Stifle. Okay, they just... On the draw, I think it's time for Teferi to go. But I think instead of the Ponder, I'm going to put in another Force. I feel like it used to be the case against the Delver decks, basically, that you would always cut all your Force of Wills and Dazes and whatnot, but I think they're more valuable than they used to be. So I like having two of those. Being down a Ponder kind of sucks, but should be fine. There's such a density of good cards. Alright, this hand is not thrilling, but definitely a keep. Probably a turn one Channeler or something like that. Ponder, okay. I'm never mad to see Ponder turn one out of a Tempo deck. No Shuffle, no Bobble. Swords. Let's get this Hedge Maze out of the way. Let's find out if they're going to Wasteland me. Dread Return to the bin. Amazing. If they Wasteland me, they're not going Core Steel Cutter. Brainstorm. Now if they Wasteland, they're sort of Brainstorm locking themselves. Okay. Fetch land. Alright. I don't have an answer to a Cutter, but I only have two Forces in my deck, so Brainstorming to find a Force doesn't seem that good. I like every card in my hand. I think I will just double combo piece. I'll start with Shuko played around Daze, and then Nomads playing into Daze. And I don't think there's any instant or sorcery I need to worry about on their turn that I need to back up with Flusterstorm. If they fluster my Nomads, or I mean rather, if they bolt my Nomads, I would not spend Flusterstorm on that. Maybe they force Shuko. If they force Shuko, maybe I won't play the Nomads out. Okay. Here's Nomads. I'll equip and I'll pass and assume that Nomads will die, but we'll see. They're just surveilling. The only card I'm worried about is Cutter. I'll have to race Quarry Steel Cutter if they have it. Murktide is gonna be long gone. Wasteland probably going after Tundra. There's a Channeler. Goodbye Tundra. Alright, so on my turn, another Brainstorm. I'm going to brainstorm right now without making a land drop. The reason is I get another chance to brainstorm, so this really isn't that valuable to me. I just got arguably their best card out of their hand. And it would have also been tempting to daze that, so I don't know if this means maybe they don't have a daze. I do assume this means they don't have daze. So I'm gonna Soar's Dragon's Rage Channeler right now. Get Tundra, can't get Wastelanded off of blue. Alright, and now I can actually attack. I considered even trying to trade the Nomads for the Channeler, but I don't know. Nomads has way more upside than Channeler. Cage, yeah, you got a Cage. I have a couple endings in my deck. Alright, third land, really good. Go to combat. I don't need to brainstorm here. Just say go. They're up on cards, so if there's a way for me to pull even on cards, or at least I can wait till I have a bad card in hand to cast the brainstorm. Okay, I don't love that land, but I think I'll keep it in hand, and now I can surveil, and I don't have to worry about wasteland really anymore. Okay, they have a cutter. Yeah, that's good. Cool, no spell. I don't know if they play Stifle, but now I don't want to fetch, because if they do play Stifle, and that's how they get a monk, I would rather not give them that. Another land. Go to combat. Got them at 13. Cast this brainstorm now. Bunch of lands. I'll just put back the basic and the Windswept Heat. I'll play Saga. If they don't have a Wasteland next turn, Saga can go toe-to-toe with the Cutter. And that's pretty much what I'm betting on at this point, is that the constructs will be bigger than their monks. Swords can answer Murktide, and Flusterstorm can protect the, Force of Will or whatever it is that they use to protect their Murktide. No, Stifle is nice. Windswept Teeth, I just shuffled that card away, or attempted to. Alright, Nadu. I like that. Can I attack here? I don't want them to, double, brainstorm and do something else. Like Bolt Face. I don't know. If that happens, I can make a construct, put the damage over there. I wouldn't mind that. That also means if there's a big flurry of activity during combat, it means I could Nadu with Flusterstorm backup. So, we'll see what they do. No combat tricks. Alright. I feel like they have some sort of counter spell, so I would rather not do the thing that loses to that when I can also make constructs. So I'll play my land. This means I can also on end step sword something around a daze. They're fetching. Being out for a true name nemesis would be totally cool with me. There he is. Sure. You got it. I think I'm about to win the game. Cavern would be an amazing draw. Cephalid. High thing. I think Nadu backed by Flusterstorm is really strong. Though it would really stink to lose out on a construct. I'm going to trust in my hand to deliver. Get a Shuko. Here it comes. Fluster that. If they have another force, they're down to one card. If they have double days, I'll really regret not playing out the land first. Alright, can I have a Nadu? No, I cannot. Sure. I'll just equip, and I'll say go. I should actually equip two Nomads here. So we're in a bit of a stalemate. They could attack with True Name, but I think they need to hold it back on blocks, because of their life total. Yeah, no attacks. Cephalid. I'll play Cephalid. It's not super threatening, but something I could do is Dread Return back Nadu. I kind of like, is their last card Surgical? Because right now, I don't know. That's tough. That's super tough. I'll play another one of these out around days, or not around days. I'll play my land. Oh, I can't even cast Dread Return because of Cage. So that's totally fine. I could attack with Nomads, but they just can block with True Name, so it doesn't really do anything. So we're kind of just dead even here. Would love to draw a Prismatic Ending, another Nadu. So many good things I could draw. Swords, that's okay. It's kind of insurance. If I swords this now, I could try pushing damage. They could block this. And then I would put the damage onto something else. I don't know. I like just passing here. But sure. Wonder if they can double spell. Okay, they are swinging. I'll block with the construct. See if I get the other spell out of hand. Swords. Bolting my face. So they'll get a replacement monk. But then this thing is gonna drink this thing. So it would really just trade. Am I cool trading a construct for a monk? Okay, so they actually didn't move it over. I guess that's optional. So I'll just swords it. Not ideal, but I feel like that bolt was wasted by them in this situation. They get to see my top card, and they equip that. That's a little scary. Cavern, okay. I'm going to save that Cavern in hand, and I'll still pass. Ponder is good. Shuffle. Surely they could play another spell here, I have to guess. But it seems like they probably have something reactive. Pyroblast on Illusionist. Yep, you got it. Definitely wasn't too worried about keeping two of those around, though I did lose a Nadu in the process, so that stinks. And Pyroblasting the other one. And I lose cards I'm not concerned about. Okay, that's fine. And attacking with everything. So I could trade. I could swords. A lot of things I could do. I don't want to take all of this. I think that would be a mistake. I'll swords this. And I'll take 6. Now the clock is an issue, though. And they just move the equipment over. So I'm on a 2-turn clock to them. Cameo, not great. But it's decent. It can block the monk. I'm still going to hold back the Cavern. And I'll just play out Cameo. Brainstorm is pretty good. Another Cutter. Yeah, that's quite good. And they can even equip that. Yep. I'm not going to block because I go to 1 next. I go to 1 from this, but I'm dead next turn no matter what. So this has to be a really good turn for me. Let's see what I draw. That's not going to do it on its own. I can attack with Tameo. I'll just attack with everything. Yeah, I'll just do it like that. Miss some damage this way. And I'm just going to do this in combat. Let's draw the card. Dang, kind of tragic there that this Cage is going to be really good. So I will lose to this True Name Nemesis, so that stinks. I'll just fetch. GG. Right, I'm on the draw in match 3 with a really good hand minus Dread Return. So I can't win turn 2, but turn 3 is a possibility. Let's just see. Definitely keeping it. Tamiyo Bin off of Undercity Sewers. Reeks of Reanimator. I'll play the Nomads out. Ponder. They shuffle. They're probably looking for lands because Tamiyo's quite a good card. Thoughtseize. Yep. So they should probably take Brainstorm because they can't win the game. Okay, they took Cephalid. Guess they just respect it. Fair enough. Another Brainstorm is nice. I think I just play the Flooded Strand. This means I can, if it comes to an emergency Brainstorm, I could Surveil off of this. Nothing go. Wasteland. Alright, well, I'm not going to Surveil off of it. Let's see what I draw. Narcomoeba. Alright. Well, Brainstorm is going to need to be really good for me. For the combat, I'll fetch. If they have Bowmasters, it sucks because they get the Nomads no matter what, but I can at least Swords it. Let's see. Okay. More card I don't want, but it's fine. At least Dread Return's going to go away. And I'll put the Narcomoeba back as well. I can Surveil off of this, and then if they Wasteland it, Saga will be good. And they might suspect I put back the Saga. I feel like this has to be Reanimator. Yeah, there we go. Sure. Looks like a good card to Swords. I'll do that on my turn. Hedge Maze. Another Brainstorm is good. Swords this. Hopefully they don't have their own Brainstorm. It's out of there. I'll tap the Hedge Maze for a Brainstorm. Alright. Thassa's Oracle back. And Savannah back. And I'll go ahead and Ponder. I'll draw. Now I can't get Wastelanded off of green. Cephalid. Cavern. Yep. Seems good. Oh, dang. Well, I still have a Brainstorm, but I just misclicked on the Order of the Ponder. I did not want to expose Cephalid to a Thoughtseize, obviously. I think as long as I dodge and Tomb Reanimate this turn, it's going to be good. For one, hopefully they're doing just another Surveil here. I think that's very likely, yes, and hopefully they don't get a monster. Okay, they kept a card on top. Hopefully not Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. I'll Brainstorm. So unfortunate. Days. Alright. Terrible, terrible, terrible play. That's very frustrating. Well, if they don't get Entomb Reanimate on soon, I'm going to get their life total down. But hard to imagine that the Nomads beats gets there. I'm just not going to play out these lands into their Wasteland. And I have to draw another bad card next turn. I mean, I think it's very likely they have Force of Will. But if Cephalid's stuck off a Cavern, that'd be good. That'd be really good. Because then if they had Force for Dread Return, I had Memory's Journey. So, tragic. And I'm not going to play out any of these lands. I have a live draw next turn. They know to play around days, so my hand is basically completely dead. Alright, if I hit them, they can no longer reanimate a Archon. Another land, you say? Well, I can get a Surveil land. So that's decent. If I can get one more hit, then Atraxa can't be reanimated. Brazen Borrower. Sure. A second Saga. So I Saga, they waste. I don't want that. That feels super slow. Another Nomad. So I'll certainly play it out. That'll help either now or eventually produce a somewhat competitive clock. but it doesn't feel great. That was a huge punt on the ponder. They have another one. Yep. Okay. You're fetching. Brainstorm. Just have to keep them off anime dead. Sadly, I will be dead to these borrowers before I can kill them, though it's surprisingly close. Force a little late, but I'm happy to see it. I'll just play out Tundra. Force will have to be hard cast because I'm going to 1. Ponder's fine. Base shuffle. Cameo's fine. Completely irrelevant. Alright. Yep, they win. Well, very unfortunate that I stacked that ponder incorrectly. I'd like to think I would win that game otherwise. So against Dimir Reanimator, I'm down some cards in this matchup with this exact plan. But I definitely like starting with those 5 and probably 6 here. I think I'll go down the Dazes. I'll trim 1 Nadu. Maybe more as I can contemplate this sideboard plan. I'll go down 1 Ponder. I'll go down 1 more Nadu. And I'll go down 1 Force. I do think that Nadu is a danger in this matchup, so because it's a bit more situational, I like having fewer copies in the deck. They can reanimate it. Yeah, I'll keep. Start with the Ghost Vacuum, I guess. I'll start with Tamio, actually. I have Macabre. Just have to draw lands. Yep. Probably take a Ghost Vacuum. Maybe Nadu. Maybe even Cephalid. Okay. Missing the land drop sucks. But I shouldn't die quickly to what they have going on. Let's just hope Ghost Vacuum resolves. Okay, sweet. They are fetching. Maybe they have their own Tamio. Doth. Okay. Good. I'll get rid of my Nadu. Oh, then. Well, that was a risk I ran with this hand. But it's looking pretty bad now. Ponder is good. Shuffle. Thoughtseize is fine. They're going to take Nomads, I'm guessing. And they have yet one more play. They're on Tamiya. Brutal. I will pick the Ponder out of their graveyard. This is getting discouraging. Let Shuka. Equipped it pre-combat, they would have blocked with Tamio, so it's not like I missed a point of damage with that. Entomb, sure. Just entombing for an entomb. So they can Murktide. That's pretty good. I'm ready to scoop this one up. GG. On the draw for match 4, no lands, mulligan. No lands, well, no blue lands in this. My opponent is still mulling. I think the fact that they're mulling means I can, try to mull to a Force. At least try to get something better. Alright. So I'll probably put back Cavern. I think I'll put back the Cavern and the Nadu. And just hope to play a Tamio game where I can flip it quickly. I think my opponent is thinking a lot here about whether they want to play around Days with like an Entomb. Another Days, sure. Here's Tammy. On my inst. Surveil. I'm guessing this is Reanimator. Not too many decks play Underground Mortuary. Oh, Nic Fit. Could be holding up a Bowmaster. Have Days for it. Now I have a Force. I think this flip Tamio is going to get the job done. I'll brainstorm now before making a land drop. Because if I like every single card, don't. I wonder if the plan here is just Tamio. just ultimate Tamiyo backed by forces and dazes, and then I don't really need maybe both dazes or the nomads. I'll hold the ponder and I'll surveil. Hopefully they don't have something like abrupt decay. But feels like a good position given that my opponent is on 4 cards. Still no play. I'll get a hedge maze. Could have opposition agent, but doesn't look like it. I know some craziness will come out of this. Shuko is fine, yeah. Secondary plans starting to emerge. I'll start this turn by cracking the clue. I'll play that out, I'll play Shuko out, and then I'll plus. Next turn, it'll be pretty tempting to ponder, even if I don't draw a blue card. Because now finding the card that goes with Shuko, like an illusionist, could be game-winning. I don't know, they could have random main deck graveyard 8. With decks like this, you never know what craziness will come out. Unmask pitching Cabal Therapy. Sure. Even if they have a Cabal Therapy, that'd be pretty good if they had Cabal Therapy, but I can pick something up with Tamiyo. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, crazy deck. Unmask, Veteran Explorer. I don't know if I've ever seen a deck that had both those. I feel like if you're a deck that plays Unmask and you're not using Unmask to take Force of Will, you're doing it wrong. So I think they need to take Force of Will. Okay, they took Ponder. What? Alright, well, you better come up with something good because I'm about to win the game. Blue card would be amazing. Sweet. I'm not even going to cast it. Just going to hold up double Force of Will into next turn. I would be very sad if they had Abrupt Decay. Okay. So here you see the strength of Tamiyo. I never found, a second thing to go with Shuko and Nomads. I got to shuffle away. I just didn't have to worry about cantripping ridiculously into finding combo pieces. I just got to do my thing with the 1-card combo, or, it's still like a 1.5 card combo. If I did cast that Ponder, so a draw step was going to be another Ponder, and then the 3 cards I would see would be a shuffle, probably. So this game could have gone on quite a lot longer if I didn't have a Tamiyo. Alright, I like Swords and Ending. Removal seems good. Force of Negation could be good. I mean, against a deck that plays Unmask, it's hard to hate. Force of Negation and Flusterstorm. So we got a whole bunch of maybes. I don't know enough about what they're doing to really commit to anything else. And I don't know if I actually like Tamiyo. But I'm just going to go out on a limb. I just have a sense. Despite what I've seen, I have a sense that the graveyard plan is going to be a bit fragile to what they are going to want to do and to how they're going to plan to play. I will also to Fairy over Memory's Journey, and I will leave Oracle. I'm probably a little overboarded for them, but I just sense it. I sense that they're going to try to hate my graveyard really hard. I like this hand. My opponent is mulling. They're playing what appears to be a pretty bad deck, so they're probably going to mulligan a lot. Honestly, I'd be embarrassed to lose to it. I might, but it would be embarrassing. Okay, they're on 6. They don't have Leyline or anything like that. Unmask. Ooh, pitching Chain of Smog. All right, more is being revealed. Happy to have these swords. Yeah, they got it. So, I assume I'm losing Force of Will. Maybe Ponder. Again, I feel like if you're an unmasked deck and you're not taking forces out of people's hands, what are you even doing? Now, if they have Cabal Therapy, that's another thing. Okay, just main phase Surveil land. Do they play Lotus Petal and Reanimate? Or was this just a lazy timing thing? Are they playing around Stifle? I like that. This is another tempting, maybe Urza Saga turn 1 play. But just getting a Shuko and Nadu off of that means, I don't know. I'd rather have constructs. If I have to force something, I will pitch the Thassa's Oracle. That's really barely a plan in the list I've presented for this game, as I don't have any illusionists. Cabal Therapy. They won't name Nadu, so it's fine. And I'm not going to give them 2 cards to prevent them from having that information. Naming swords, okay, so you still have to fight through a Force of Will. I'll fetch. Get Hedge Maze. I should get Meticulous. Let's see what we find. Tamio. I can do that this turn, so that's nice. So I'll get the Saga going. I'll play out Tamio. That's also really nice because that is another body where if Nadu hits the table, the Shuko is more likely to be really exceptional. Sometimes you have a Nadu and a Shuko and you get 2 cards and you pass the turn and it didn't really feel that strong. So now the real question is, should I Nadu then? Now I think the answer is no, because flipping Tamio seems really good backed by Force of Will. I think that's even better than making a construct. I don't know. I'll just play this and pass and hold this up as a sort of counterspell. This way I have so many options available to me. Because actually flipping the Tamio then takes away the play I was talking about of Shuko for more cards. So, Dark Ritual. Am I just supposed to counter this Dark Ritual? Like, they haven't made a land drop. Whatever they're about to do might end up stuck in their hands. Like, they know I have a Force. So to me, the only play that really makes sense is like multiple discard spells. I suppose if they have multiple discard spells, I have Brainstorm. But Brainstorming now not only flips Tamio, but takes me off Construct. So that would feel pretty bad. I'm just going to counter this. Get out of here. I'll fetch a drop and make a Construct. Oops, tapped for mana instead of the active ability. There we go. Fortification, that is nice. Obviously, Force of Will would have been preferable. They could have a Pyroblast here. Or they could not. That should be the game. Feels good. There's the Force of Will. Alright, GG. I wonder what those last 3 cards in hand were. I don't know what they're Dark Ritualing for. I just have no idea what this deck is playing. Could be like a Barrel Boy for something, but you can't Dark Ritual out, you know, a bigger threat into a known Force of Will, because then you're just 2 for 2ing yourself. When really what they needed to do was be patient, get out a creature, Cabal Therapy me, or Unmask me. So if it wasn't double discard, it wasn't very good. And paid off. GG. I'm on the draw, match 5 against a Yorion deck. Obviously with a mulligan here. Keep. Bottom Dread Return. Here's a good instance of why you can be a little picky with your hands with Breakfast. Obviously, I had them all the last session, but there are cards you do not want in your hand. They must be in your deck for your deck to function. So having Dread Return in my hand, let's say this was a 7-card hand, and I would have kept it. But it's not only a mull to 6, it's like a mull to 5.5 almost. Turn 1 Vial, pretty good. If this is the white-black version that just won the Showcase Qualifier Big Tournament, it's a little concerning. That deck seems really good. And good against Breakfast. Oh, where was Force of Will last turn? I would have loved to hit the Vial. This is almost a Hedge Maze. The only way I would not do that is if they show a Wasteland. It is cool that Aether Vial is making a comeback as a card. Very classic Legacy. card with so many archetypes, creature archetypes that it's enabled. All right, here is my Surveil, Hedge Maze, Saga. Saga's good, I'll keep it. I still want to brainstorm here. I like all the cards, so I just want to find like a swords or a combo piece. So if I do get locked, it's not the end of the world. There's swords and Nadu. I still want to play the Saga now. So I'll just put back the combo pieces in case they do have Thoughtseize. Maybe I should have kept the Nadu on top, as Nadu struggles with Caracas. Okay. Flicker Wisp for no real value, right? I don't think I need to daze it. Okay, so they'll have an untapped plan. Flickering my Saga is nice. Or rather destroying my Saga, yeah, because that flips. Okay. That play was lost on me. I've not had that happen to me before. So, my bad. That's cool. Flipping that with a Flicker Wisp. Overlord. I probably should force that. But I won't. It's a little slow. Pick up the White Orchid Phantom. That's totally fine. And then they attack. And they camp Helia. So I wouldn't be mad at just playing out the Nadu. Holding off on the Brainstorm. So name Wizard. If they Caracas the Nadu, I'm drawing cards off that. Their clock is pretty fast though. So it is a little concerning. There we go. Another Nadu. Yeah. A land there would have been really nice. Because now if I want to win next turn, I have to brainstorm into a land. Thoughtseize. I guess they probably take brainstorm. That's fine. Okay, they took the swords. That's fine. That was probably... I mean, obviously they're getting close to winning. But not my biggest concern. And they're not holding up Bowmasters, so Brainstorm, I don't have to worry about that. I suppose they are holding up Hull Breacher, but no chance they play that. Shuko, what if I just try to win the game here? Seems good, right? There we go. Probably should have led on the Cephalid because of Skyclave Apparition. Yeah. Rough. But next turn I can brainstorm, so I'll have to force removal. I'm not dead this turn though. I'm gonna go to 2. This game just came down to I'm gonna force this, pitching a Nadu. Because I just have to brainstorm. This game came down to me not realizing the Witch Enchanter play. The thought of them having nothing here seems pretty unlikely. Like a swords or something. Now I go to 1. Narcomoeba. Brainstorm, show me something good. Well, that's the win that I can put on the stat. Lay it out. Yep. Game. I think I still lose. If I had gone Illusionist first and then Shuko. I like the white cards. I like another land. I don't think I like Cavern enough. I mean, Needle enough. I think I'll take out Dazes. Tameo doesn't feel great in this matchup too because of Caracas and general pressure they can put on. That feels like a really clean boarding there. Hand seems good. Okay. I will start off with the basic island Ponder. Cards seem good. I'll do it like that. Next turn, being able to go Saga plus Shuko feels really good. I could also just go Island Shuko and play the Flooded Strand and not crack it. That's probably better. Vial. I think I'm faster than this Vial. So I'm going to let the Vial resolve, and I'm going to next turn aggressively force Thoughtseize Seeing that they went basic plains means they can't do that twice. And I'm going to play Shuko, play Flooded Strand, say go. Wasteland. Okay, well, that is awkward. I will draw the Narcomoeba, because I kind of have to now. Let's just play this out. See what they do. Okay. Maybe they want Ophelia, but that feels like they should have Wastelanded there. So, try to capitalize. Ophelia, now I'll force it. Pitch Narcomoeba. Another land is great. Another Nadu is okay. I'll just hold the Ponder. I want to see a lot of cards here. Swordsing Nadu. Then I have another Nadu in hand. And an Illusionist. Yep, it's fine. And I'll just leave this uncracked, actually. Another Force. I mean, here's Nadu. You knew about him. Another Philia. I think I'm really ahead here, so I'm not going to risk, like, exposing myself to the graveyard. And that should do it. Surprise, what do they have? Why are they casting Philia when they have a Violin too? What do I have to worry about there? In case they have Solitude, I'll just play conservatively and hold the Force of Will. Alright, what is this going to be? Ophelia? Stoneforge. Okay. A little late, but they're going to get to do something with that. Phantom Blade. Alright. That's going to feel bad if I lose this game. Probably putting in the Phantom Blade. Alright. So, another Nadu. Amazing. I'll surveil first here. And I should have turned off auto yields so that I could surveil in response to that Nadu. Sort of a magic online trick. Brainstorm is great. And I actually still have a shuffle effect with the Urza Saga, so I can surveil again and not worry about it with Brainstorm. Ponder. I already have enough cantrips. And I still get my 2 extra triggers. And then I'll yield to this ability, lose my Nadu. Hopefully dodge a Surgical, but I have Force of Will. Overlord. I'll force it. And I like my hand, so I'll pitch the Brainstorm. Wow, what a game for Force of Will. Who knew that card was good? Serenity. Awkward. Why do I always draw Serenity when I have some sort of construct game going? No Needle. But I do have everybody's favorite bird wizard. And we'll start doing this again. I like how they're making me play it out. They get to see more of my deck. I mean, they've already seen Narcomoeba. And let me double check. I haven't, like, pitched Thassa's Oracle or anything like that. Alright, so I should be able to win here. And I still have Memory's Journey in the deck. I don't know. I'll just use Beatdown to win. Unless they give me a reason not to do that. I'm just up by so much. And I'll ending the Vial. Okay, they scoop. So, prior to game 3, I think I'm going to take out Serenities and bring 2 Tamiyo back in. Serenity is unlikely to be anything greater than, say, a 2-for-1 at best. And on the draw, it feels slow. I like this deck here, and one of the big appeals of Tamiyo as a card is that it helps relieve the tension of playing against Thoughtseize decks. Obviously, a Thoughtseize deck that also has Caracas presents some challenge for Tamiyo to really get value, but I like it better than Serenity for this game 3. Force of Will, wow. So good last game. All right, I'm on the draw. Nice hand. I'll keep. I wish I could just fetch a Tundra and not have to worry about Wasteland, but that's not the case. I assume they're going to get a Scrubland, and let's see what happens here. Should I force a Vial? Yeah. Pitch Tamiyo. There's some chance that completely breaks them. There's a very good chance that it slows them down tremendously. And just felt smart. Felt like the thing to do. Yeah, lands is what I was looking for, really. So, I'll draw this. So I'll get to shuffle away. Dread Return. So I have to play Misty Rainforest this turn. But I can Surveil. I'll play out Shuko. It does play into a Skyclave Apparition. Philia. I have to act now on this, so I cannot Surveil. But I can't let them have this, and they're going to have Karakas to back it up after this, so I'm going to say no to Philia. It is really cool that Death and Taxes is back as a deck. And I also really like that it's 2 color. It makes it feel different and distinct to this era. It's not just like a rebuild of older decks plus, 1 card. All right, well, I have a Swords for this as well. Let's see what they get. Cauldron. Force of Will, sort of awkward. I think I just Swords this now. Strand the Cauldron. Sometimes it feels good to let them get the Cauldron out, spend the mana, and then Swords that. But seems like it's kind of a slow game, so I don't want to let them have Stoneforge as a thing that they can uncounterably put stuff in with. F6. Yep. Hope they don't have Wasteland to follow up. That's sort of surprising that they made that land drop when next turn, if they had a land, they could kill my Saga. Brainstorm, I like that. So I'll play out the land. That means next turn I can have a Brainstorm plus a Shuffle effect, provided that the construct lives. Containment Priest, not too worried about that right now, at least. Another land. Attacking into my guy. That's fine. Yorion is now in hand. I'll make my construct. Nomads. I'll Brainstorm. That sucks. Yeah, I'll keep a land around and just put back 2 nomads. Make my construct. Get my Shuka for 6. Play my land. So they can Yorion this turn, but not for any value. I think they're surveilling here. Yep. And my constructs can tussle with Yorion, and if they Yorion this turn but don't have a land, they don't have Karakas held up. I should have equipped to my 4/4, but it's... So Hedge Maze completes my dual land trifecta. So I'll get that. There's no color I can get Wastelanded off of. Dread Return to the bin. Another land is bad. I'll attack. Definitely in a push damage phase of the game. I could have Solitude. That's good. Now next turn. Yeah, they don't block here. Okay, they do block. Feels like a mistake. Next turn, you Yorion the Solitude. We'll now just have some presence on board. I'll play the Nomads, equip the Nomads, and hopefully surveil into something good here. They have perfect information, obviously, as I am Hellbent. Okay, probably take Nomads. Stoneforge, okay. So their hand is Kaldra and Yorion and Phantom Blade. No reason to do this in combat, as Narcomoeba would just be a chump blocker and it wouldn't enter anyway. I mean, Nadu. Ponder is acceptable. As Ponder, there's Nadu and Nomads. Okay. So I'll draw the Nomads, draw the Swords, play the Nomads. Tempting to Swords Stoneforge, but can't do that. Just have to get as much value as I can off of this, and if I get another land, that would still be a really good play. Not that land, though. I'll equip to the Nomads because they're going to kill my Nadu. Well, I feel like I have life here. This is super close. I'll wait for them to activate Stoneforge. See what they put in. Probably Phantom Blade. Yep. Probably targeting Nadu. Yep. Ending is nice. That can hit Containment Priest in the event that I get a Cephalid. All right. Nadu down. Probably should attack with both. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. I probably should be swordsing Stoneforge if I'm gonna sword something, but I'm just gonna 7 in hand for Brainstorm, so I'll draw Cephalid. Okay. I want to find Force of Will. They have one unknown card, so they have Kaldra, they have Yorion, and an unknown. If it's removal, they're dead. If it's graveyard hate, they should be dead. But I still want to do all this cantripping. Let's see if maybe it's Bowmasters, they play it out. I'll have to swords this regardless, and this doesn't give it any sort of protection of any kind. Should get it. Should get there. Okay, another swords, so I'll put back the nomads, and then let me double check my creatures and everything. Dread Returns in the bin. All important graveyard cards are in the zones they should be in currently. So, back the endings. This would be good as well if they have a second, say, Containment Priest. Then I will ponder after this fetch. Shuffle. And I'll do one last Brainstorm. No force. But I like holding the Nadu just in case. All right. So I'm holding up double swords. Let's just start by swordsing the priest. And casting Cephalid. And trying to win the game. Okay. So I'll Dread Return, target Thassa's Oracle. I'll leave the Nomads in play. That works, and got there. Cool, GG. That's a tough matchup. I haven't played it that much, so I'm sure that as I continue to see decks, that sort of Death and Taxes deck, my approach will be modified. Like, I think I had been taking up some number of forces, but I don't know. It's pretty good when you know your force is going to resolve. And they have a lot of things worth Force of Willing nowadays. Like, I used all 3 of those forces on what I thought were pretty good cards in Game 2. So, overall, I think this league felt okay. The worst game was the Reanimator game. The Reanimator game, Game 1 was sort of stalled out, and I misplayed that Ponder, so maybe if I just click that correctly, maybe that's a game win. Game 2, never found that land, and they got the Murktide, so that was pretty rough. And then the Tempo, Izzet Tempo was quite close. I'd have to look back at that to see if there's anything I would do differently, but definitely the deck feels favored, like 60-40 maybe in that matchup, maybe a little less, but it definitely feels like a strong matchup for Breakfast, and I usually feel confident when I play against Izzet Tempo decks with Cutter. Just have to make sure you don't die too quickly to Quarry Steel Cutter. So overall, it felt like a really good list. As far as the differences from what I've currently been playing compared to Andy's list that won the event, Teferi was good one time, and Serenity was good one time. But also I drew one time when I made constructs or had like Urza Saga game plans. Serenity is very feast or famine. I think if there's a lot of mono red, it could be really good. A lot of lands, it could be really good. Otherwise, probably I don't want it. I continue to feel not so great about Teferi. Like, it just feels so slow. And a lot of times it's only, a little 2-for-1 where you draw a card and isn't really like locking down the game in the way it's supposed to. Especially because it's only post-forward. Like if it was in the main deck before you have to worry about things like Pyroblast or like Shoulder's Edict or something, it would feel better, but I just continue to be very much on the fence of it. But I am very pro the 4 Tamios. I think I would rather have, say, Tamio number 3 versus main deck Prismatic Ending. And I even think Tamio number 4 over Ghost Vacuum. I think if I was going to modify this list, I would consider cutting to Fairy or the second Serenity for at least one more piece of graveyard hate. But it's an awesome list. Congrats to Andy on winning that 2K. That's really sick. And I love the list. Yeah, so I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.